everybody, welcome back to the Geek XP for our Nintendo E3 predictions. I'm joined today by Carson.
Hello everybody.
And a very special guest, Bobby Paul's the Nintendo Guru.
What is up, guys?
On technically his second appearance, though none of you got to hear his first one because of some recording snafus.
That was so upsetting.
It was such a good discussion.
It was a great discussion. It was the best Zelda discussion you will never hear. It was amazing. But whatever.
Dude, we were heartbroken when we realized it didn't work. But anyway,
okay.
We're on to newer, greener pastures.
Yes.
And today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo E3, I guess digital event, because they've Spotlight. They're not doing a press conference, much to my chagrin, but they are doing their Nintendo Spotlight Direct, and with any of the big three, Nintendo is always the most fun to speculate about. Mm-hmm. It's also the one people have the wildest expectations for.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I've been burned so many times.
Yeah. But they're going in hot off a brand new console that's selling very well, that people really like. So hopefully they can bring some good stuff to the table this year. So I guess we'll get right into it. Mario Odyssey.
Definitely expect that to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get I think they're gonna shoot for their regular November release date of the week before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before Black Friday. Yeah,
I agree.
The Friday before Black Friday is typical.
Yeah. So I think that's when we'll see that. I have a feeling we're gonna see a season pass for this game.
Really? You think there's gonna be DLC for this?
Dude, the way they're presenting the game with like this concept of going to these different worlds, and they're all so visually different from each other.
Yeah.
I feel like you could pretty easily throw together like a level pack with like 3 or 4 worlds and sell it post.
I think they need to be careful with their messaging on that, because we're seeing a bit of pushback from fans on some of their most recent DLC decisions, such as like Fire Emblem for Shadows of Valentia.
Oh god.
And
I know it's more expensive than the actual game.
Yeah. And like I totally get it. Like it's your choice if you want to buy it, but it's pretty insane how expensive that is altogether. And then the Zelda DLC people are getting a little up in arms about. So they got to be careful about their messaging, I think, with that if they decide to go with the DLC plan. Because it's always that thing of like, you wonder, like, are they really working on this after the game released? Or did they, like, take out a chunk of the game to make it DLC, right?
Well, with Zelda, they said that the stuff that they're doing for the DLC, they thought about it and they started working on it during the end of the game. So they just realized that they wanted it to be there in the game, but they realized if they did, they'd have to delay the game again. And they did not want to delay the game yet again. So they pushed the game out as it was, but all the while kept continuing on. Like the Kurok Seed Mask, this, the tracker and all that stuff like that, the hard mode. That's all stuff they wanted to be in the original game. So, I'm okay with that. I mean, I'd rather the game not be delayed than to put that out.
Yeah.
And I feel like honestly, I feel like what you're buying with Zelda is the second pack. You're not really buying the first pack. They're saying they're giving it to you, but it's more or less like the real meat and potatoes is in that second pack, I believe.
Yeah, and it's Mario. I feel like they wouldn't burn us on DLC with Mario, because especially like there's no map features or anything you could add to Mario to sell a DLC pack like that. Like, you're not gonna sell map features or a tracker for a Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like any DLC they will do, if they did it, would be focused on gameplay, on new worlds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I could see them doing characters.
Yes.
I could see them like adding a Rosalina in there or something like that. That would, you could buy that character and you're going to play as Rosalina like that. I could totally see them doing.
What's interesting about that, our friend Nate brought this up the other day. If they add extra characters, these characters need to have hats, because the hat is a main mechanic in this game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm totally cool with that. I'd love to see Rosalina and Peach with like hats,
with like plumber hats.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
I'd be totally down for that.
That'd be cool.
I'm kind of wondering if there might be some co-op potential here.
Yeah.
I know 3D Mario, like open world, like type Mario games don't typically have that, and I don't know how they make it work.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of cool. Like in Mario Galaxy, they had a hint of co-op where the second player could gather star bits and like help the other player out by holding enemies back and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe like something like that even would be kind of cool. I don't know.
I mean, look, to be honest, if I'm being honest, I don't see any DLC coming to Mario. Like, I think that would be like a first time ever that they would do something like that on this end. I mean, well, not technically, because they did do DLC for Luigi when they did that Luigi
Super
pack.
Luigi Brothers.
Yeah. So that's true. There is precedence. At first I was thinking, like, they wouldn't do something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they would do it. But I just don't know. I think that it's just bad to announce right now a season pass. I think that's a huge mistake to go, like, E3, the game's not even out yet, and you're talking... You know, you're talking
That's
6 months
true.
away. Like, that's a big chunk of the way. Like, people are going to freak out because they're going to be like, well, why are you not putting it in the game
The
itself?
messaging starts to look money grubbing at that point.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, like a month out of the game, then I see it and I'm fine with it. But like 6 months out, it's like, no, people are gonna turn on them big time. And Nintendo's not that. I mean, Nintendo is the company that always mocked the Call of Duties and stuff that did that type of stuff. Like, they were the ones that are always like, if we're going to add DLC, it's going to be substance, it's going to be content, it's going to be post, it's not going to be stuff that's hidden in, you know, the actual game itself. So I really think that we're going to see, you know, I think if we do see it, it won't be closer till launch before we hear about it.
Yeah, that's true. So... next up on the list, we've got Splatoon 2. Now, by the time we get to E3, Splatoon 2 won't be that far away. I think sometime in July, right? I want to say July 17th is the release date for Splatoon 2.
Wouldn't it be the same day? I'm assuming. But wouldn't it be the same day that the Amiibo are coming?
It is, I think.
Yeah.
That's the 21st, I thought.
Okay.
June 21st or June? It's crazy because they got a June and July Amiibo, and they got one set on, I think it's July 23rd, and then the other one June 21st. So yeah, it's, man, that's not that far off of E3 really. That's only a couple weeks, like a week after E3 or something. So I'm amped. I can't wait for Splatoon 2, man.
Do we think they spend a lot of time on Splatoon at the E3 Direct?
Honestly, I don't think they will because they just got they're gonna have a direct coming tomorrow. So I think that they're not going to spend a lot of time. This direct that's coming tomorrow really makes me happy because I'm like, get ARMS out of here, get Splatoon out of here, show me other stuff.
Exactly.
And,
we were talking about that in the car.
And I feel like them doing what they're doing by doing this direct makes room for new stuff to be announced. And I think, you know, they're just going to kind of breeze over Splatoon. I think we'll see a lot of it during the Treehouse Live, but I don't think during that presentation they're going to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I really hope they use Treehouse Live to do what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, show off ARMS, because that comes out that week. That Friday.
Yeah.
ARMS comes out then, and then Splatoon comes a month later. Like, show these games at the Treehouse and stuff.
And the other thing, too, is you also have the tournaments. You have the Splatoon tournament and the ARMS tournament.
Yep.
I think that's where they're going to push, and you're going to see all the footage. You really don't need to spend a lot of time during that presentation, in my mind. They can get away from that and do other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, let the tournaments be the time where those games shine. And that leads perfectly into ARMS, which I think we have a lot of the same feelings about it that we have towards Splatoon. Like, that direct tomorrow, we're recording this on the 16th. That direct is going to be, I think, it. Like, we know what ARMS is at this point.
Yeah.
I hope it does well. I'm really excited for it, but I don't think it needs to take up any time at the E3 conference.
I personally, I probably won't buy it. I'm more interested in other games coming towards the Switch that I want to spend my money on. It looks really cool, and it has a very strong style and look to it like Splatoon does.
Yeah.
So I definitely love that about it. And I hope it's the next big hit like Splatoon was as well. I hope it does really well for Nintendo, because I love Nintendo. I like to see Nintendo do well. But yeah, like, I think hopefully they segment that to Treehouse.
Yeah.
And the direct tomorrow. Hopefully is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe a new character tomorrow. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm buying ARMS. I just,
same here.
You know, I look at it, and to me, when I look at it, I get the Overwatch feel in the character designs. I love the fact that it's like, I feel like they're doing to ARMS what they did with Splatoon with the first-person shooter and the shooter games.
Yeah.
I think ARMS is similar to fighting games. The fact that I can actually play and not have to use the Joy-Cons excites me. Yeah. I like that I can use a Pro Controller and just battle that way. So that has me.
And what
up.
that tells me is that the fighting system in this game is a lot deeper than people are giving credit for.
I agree.
The fact that they're letting you use a controller tells me that they understand the fighting game community, and if you want to, there's a deep system in there for you to dive into. And then if not, if you just want to flail your arms about, you can do that too.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what really excites me, because I'm trash at fighting games.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm not great at fighting games either.
Having multiple ways to enjoy this is going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I don't think this game is getting out in 2017.
Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop.
Dude,
You know what? I'm tired of people like you. Stop it.
No,
I want this game this year, man.
I want it this year too. But listen, Chronicles X was huge, and then they were helping with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but that team is massive. Monolith is a big studio, and they've done this they've helped, see, this is the thing that gets glazed over. Okay. They've helped with so many Zelda games in the past as well. Like, that's what they do. They finish their project, and then they bounce a bunch of people off to go help the Zelda project. It's something that they've done for years. So, I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it out to be in those terms, but I think that, like, first off, the attacks during the presentation, or whatever, there were people who were like, "Oh, it looks choppy, it looks bad." Like, I don't see it. I don't think it looks that bad.
Either. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I think it looks amazing. I want it this year. This game is, to me, this is the game that pushes me from hopefully the end of the summer to Mario. Like, Zelda was the first half of the Switch life. This is the middle. You know, Mario is the end of the year, like, and then we move into Fire Emblem the following year. Like, yeah, man, I want this game so bad. So bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love Xenoblade Chronicles X. That was my first Xenoblade game.
Mine too.
I love that game. Now, I definitely expect it to be at E3. I think it's going to be one of those main games they spotlight in their video presentation. Yeah. In terms of it coming out this year, I kind of want to say it's going to come out this year, but one thing that's been kind of strange is I think the last time I heard Reggie talk about it, all he would say is it's coming out in 2017. Yeah. And a bunch of other games that they've announced, like Mario Odyssey and, Splatoon 2, ARMS and all that, they all have release windows or dates. Yeah. That's the only game so far that's, like, I think has just a year on it. Yeah, and that makes me a little wary of them potentially pushing it back to 2018.
I think the earliest we see it is early 2018.
So, as my final prediction, I say I think it's coming out this year, but I will not be surprised in the least if it gets pushed back to 2018. That's what I'm going to say.
I think it hurts Nintendo big time if they allow this to happen. I think this is the 1 year that Nintendo does not delay games because of the fact that everything hinges on the games this year. Like, the Switch is selling. They need to keep that momentum going and keep pushing with the games. I really don't feel like they can afford to delay any of these games that they've already announced in 2017.
Do you think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the game to do that with, though? Like, I feel like so long as they get Mario Odyssey out and have, like, maybe a Zelda bundle come holiday, I feel like they're fine. I feel like it's a very small subgroup of gamers that care about something like Xenoblade.
It's hard to say. I mean, this is different than X. This is a much different game than X. This is going back to the original. It's a storyline-based game where X was kind of not so much story-based in terms of, like, it was more based around, you, the person, than it was a character like Shulk and all that stuff in the original. There is so much love for that original game. I just think it's a mistake. I just feel like
out this year.
Yeah, I just feel overall, if Nintendo, even if they delay Fire Emblem Warriors, I feel like it's gonna hurt them in the big picture. I think that just this year, next year, 2018, they can do delays and all that stuff, because I feel at that point, that's when the third party support starts to kick in. This year, I just feel like if they start to delay games, those gaps start to widen between releases. Right now, I think you got to think, like, they've spent the last year and a half before Switch launched doing nothing, just working on the games. I really believe that. I mean, and we got to go back and look at the dates that X was released, but I mean, X was a while ago that it was released. So I think time frame wise, and I believe that a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that's been in the pipeline for a while. I think X was kind of like a holdover type deal. They went a different style. And I'm not saying I have any information or anything like that, or I know anything that nobody else knows. I'm not trying to act like that. I just feel like, I think that when they went from X, Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and then they moved to X was a gap fill. It was a way to keep the franchise going, give them something on the Wii U, but ultimately I feel like 2 has been in the pipeline for a while, like building. Because to do what you did with X, I feel doesn't take as much time as a game like Chronicles. Because Chronicles, you have to get the voice acting all in, more than what they did with X. You have to get the storyline, you have to get all the cutscenes. There was a lot of stuff that I felt was lacking with X compared to Chronicles, the original. So if you play Chronicles, the original, they're two totally different games in my mind. Just night and day. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I just hope, man, it doesn't get delayed. I want this game so bad.
So, other than Xenoblade Chronicles 2, probably the best RPG coming to the Switch, one everyone's the most excited about, Mario and Rabbids RPG.
This has been all but announced.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Has anybody seen any of the leaked stuff yet?
I saw a couple of things, but I didn't, I just saw pictures. I have been trying my best to just avoid everything. So I just don't want to know anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the pictures myself either.
Neither have I.
When I heard about this game, I was like, really? This is what you're going to do, Ubisoft? But the leakers that have seen stuff from this, at least character designs and stuff, say it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's fun looking. Yeah. And that gets me kind of excited. I'm gonna have to wait and see with this though. This isn't a rush out day one for me. They're gonna have to win me over on this.
I've kind of with the Switch, I've kind of taken the mindset of I am going to support until my pockets are empty. So if I'm able to do it, I'm going to buy new games when they launch. I want this system to succeed. And I feel like the Wii U stumbled out the blocks and didn't have a lot of strong third-party support. Yes, I feel like a lot of the games were weak that they did bring to us, but I also feel like I could have supported some games, and I let them wait. And like Rayman Legends, there's no reason in the world that I didn't own that at launch. Blows me away. I will own this one at launch because I love the original. I love the one on the Wii U. This game is another one. I'm going to buy it at launch. I'm going to buy it launch day because I want to show support to the third parties that are coming. It's Mario, and it's Rabbids is okay, but Mario is amazing. So and if it's similar to a Mario RPG where it's marrying two franchises and stuff, I think it could be really good, honestly.
Well, the Mario and Luigi games, I've never actually played one, but they always score well. And I hear really positive things about those games. If this is somehow another RPG type game, I would love to try it out. And if it's on the Switch too,
do we know, is Ubisoft developing this and borrowing the Mario characters, or is Nintendo doing this and borrowing the Rabbids?
No, I think it's Ubi doing it and they're borrowing Mario and them.
So that's really cool to me because that's seeing the Mario characters in the hands of a Western developer.
Yeah.
Especially in the RPG world, I think there's a lot of potential there. I hadn't thought of that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: do you feel like, because if you remember when the Wii U was out, the UB president, he was teasing about a game that they had ready to go, but they were just waiting for more Wii U units to sell before they released it. Do you think this is the game, or do you think it was something else?
Oh wow, it might have been. I didn't know that until just now.
Yeah, when people were asking, like, are you bringing this there? Are you bringing this to Wii U? He just basically said, like, we have a great game that is a Nintendo style game that'll do great, but we just need them to sell more units before we bring it. And it just never happened. Okay. So I'm wondering if this is maybe the title that they had in mind.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And because it's coming year one, so they must have been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
I assume it's coming this year, but I mean, even if it comes next year, that's pretty quick.
Dude, if they go into this holiday with Mario Odyssey and the Mario RPG, plus, I mean, whatever else they might announce, dude, the holiday is stacked in Switch's favor.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's looking great, yeah.
And plus Zelda will still be out. There'll be tons of kids asking for it for Christmas that haven't played that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and then last up on our list of games to expect before we get into our things that we think might be possible, Fire Emblem Warriors. Now, Carson, do you want to lead the show on this one? 'Cause you're definitely our Fire Emblem
Oh,
guy.
yeah. So I'm pretty confident that this game is coming out this year.
Yeah.
So that's another game that's coming out this holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's going to make its release. Now, I'm not too crazy about the Warriors franchise. I played Hyrule Warriors, and I did buy it full price, brand new. And I did enjoy it for a little bit, but I quickly burned out of it. I never played a Warriors game before.
Yeah.
So I was mainly curious.
Yeah.
And because it was Zelda themed, of course, I was interested. And I quickly burned out of it, and I think I've probably gotten my fill of that style of game. However, I really love certain Fire Emblem characters, and I do like the idea of being able to just like hack and slash with some of my favorite Fire Emblem characters.
I feel like Fire Emblem is way more suited to this type of game than Zelda
Absolutely,
is.
I agree with that totally.
Well, what the thing is like Fire Emblem is so deep, and it's storyline based. What I did like about the Zelda version of it was it tied a lot of stories together.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. So if they're able to do the same type of thing with this and take some of the great Fire Emblem games and tie those storylines together and those characters together, I'm all on board, man. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that should be really good. And they also announced back at that Switch presentation back in February or January it was, they have a mainline Fire Emblem game coming to Switch. And that was set for just 2018.
Yeah.
So I think it's important for them to hit this date for this game, get it out in 2017, let it sell a bunch, and then focus on the Switch game, the mainline game there, and hopefully make that come out in 2018, because that's the game I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, and not only that is getting this out in 2017 and having this out keeps the Fire Emblem brand kind of alive and in people's minds.
Yeah.
Like, who knows, someone that's getting their Switch for the first time this holiday might pick this up, and they might be like, oh wow, I like this. Oh cool, there's another Fire Emblem game coming later this year. Cool, I'm locked in for this.
Yeah.
So, I think Fire Emblem Warriors hitting a 2017 release date's pretty likely.
They got to stack. Yeah. This is a good year for Switch.
Yeah.
Starting year. They're totally, like, this is an answer to the Wii U's, like, droughted. Like, drought was terrible for the Wii U in the first year. So this is
we're getting games almost every other week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. You know what I mean? Like this is Nintendo in their heyday where you were just getting games all the time.
Yep.
I just hope it keeps going. I love it.
Yep, yeah. I know.
All right, now we get into some speculation.
Yeah, like games that are possible and stuff. And maybe some of these, maybe Bobby would still expect these to be there. You know, like we're kind of like jumping around a little bit, but
yeah.
So, Smash. Do we see Smash at this E3 Direct?
If it's not, there's something wrong. I think this is a definite. There's no way they can keep the lid on this thing any longer. I think this comes in a big bad way. Like, I think we get this huge deluxe version where it's going to be both versions married together, all the DLC.
Yep.
Like, what would be amazing is if you're playing undocked, like if you're playing handheld, it's the 3DS version, and then if you dock it, it's the Wii U version. That would be pretty awesome.
But I need that Gerudo Valley stage, but in HD.
They need to just somehow bring all those 3DS stages and like the Smash Run.
Yeah.
They need to bring that over too, because the Smash Run's way better than their board game.
That board game was horrible. Yeah, that was trash.
So, man, I will be so happy for Smash Bros to get their port, like deluxe version.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that's going to be announced.
Do we get a new character?
Yes.
I agree with Bobby. I think that's totally going to happen.
Yeah.
We get Shovel Knight is coming. Mark it.
Dude. That'd be so awesome.
I want Shovel Knight. I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I think they'll bring back Ice Climbers.
Oh, don't give me that garbage.
Dude, the whole thing before was that, like, the 3DS can't handle them.
Right.
But they don't got to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll release them for the 3DS version.
It's true. It's true. I think it's possible the Ice Climbers could be announced. I'm, like, almost... Like, Shovel Knight, I think it's just perfect.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would be amazing.
And I voted for him so many times in that ballot. I tried so hard to get him in the game instead of Bayonetta.
Yeah. I got my waifu in. I got Bayonetta in.
I like Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta. But man, Shovel Knight would just be perfect, honestly.
Dude, so this is like a quick aside. When that ballot was happening,
Mm-hmm.
I said in the NVC forums and with some other friends and stuff I voted for Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had so many people give me shit for that.
Man, because people wanted Shovel Knight, they wanted Shantae, but they didn't think that she would get it.
Sexual.
They thought, she's
never
too sexual.
Do that.
Yeah,
blah blah blah. And dude, when she won, all the tears, they were delicious. I ate them all up.
You're not right.
So Smash Bros. I hope really happens. And I think it'll come out this year. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Here's the question: do we get a GameCube controller for the 80th time, or do they finally just go, look, the Pro controller is going to be your baby. Either you deal with it or you don't.
Yeah, I love the GameCube controller and the adapter, but if they finally say it's time to say, all right, we're putting this down forever. And you have to, go to the Pro controller. I will buy a Pro controller, and I will totally play
Maybe they'll give us a cut-in-half GameCube controller Joy-Con set.
Yeah.
Yo, peripheral. Make like a special GameCube form peripheral for it. That would sell like crazy. I've
been saying stuff like that for a while. Like I want virtual console Joy-Con. So I want NES ones that you slide in, and it's just a D-pad and 2 buttons on the right, and then when you play NES games on the virtual console, that's your controller, and then SNES, same thing, and then all across the board, sign me up, man, all day long.
All right, and then we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but Fire Emblem for Switch, Carson's chomping at the bit.
Okay, I got a big theory here. All right. So I'm expecting them to show us something for Fire Emblem Switch during the spotlight. Maybe a quick teaser trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I think is possible, and this is borderline a little crazy theory. So I'm a big fan of the GameCube Fire Emblem game, which is Path of Radiance, and Radiant Dawn on the Wii, and that was a sequel to Path of Radiance, and that's Ike's games.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Ike.
Yeah.
And the Radiant Dawn ended in a way where there was a bit of an open-ended conclusion to the story. Ike kind of disappears. And I'm kind of wondering, maybe this Switch game is the third game in that franchise. And Ike also is a super popular Fire Emblem character in the ballots and stuff for
Heroes.
For Heroes. He's usually being picked number 1 in some of the voting stuff.
Yeah.
So if they're paying attention to that kind of stuff, and they've noticed that in the past, I think it would be kind of cool to give that franchise or that game subset of Fire Emblem franchise another shot, because those games did not sell well, unfortunately.
Well, Fire Emblem didn't pick up to the last couple of years,
Right.
so or the past couple of games, yeah.
I thank Awakening so much. It's not my favorite Fire Emblem game, but it saved the franchise, and that I'm so thankful for. So I'm thinking it's the third game on Ike's story. Maybe he won't be the main character, but I think will show up as like a side character, and he'll potentially.
Maybe if you play as a girl, you can marry him.
There you go.
Have Ike babies.
Or he'll be like an old man Ike and like die in a great way or something.
Yeah.
But I think they will remaster Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn if that's the case. If they're making that Switch game and it's an Ike's game, they will remaster those two games and give them another shot on the Switch. So that's my crazy theory right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, and I will buy those games.
All right, the big one, Metroid.
I have this down as a possibility because I've been burned so many times. But Bobby, you expect it to be there.
I expect it. Honestly, I expect it to come at the end of the show.
Okay.
Just a teaser trailer, and
love
that's
that.
it. Like I just expect them to be like, oh, one more thing, and here it is. And if they do that, man, they're gonna blow the roof off of.
Maybe we just get a sequence like we just see Samus and she like suits up Iron Man style and walks into frame.
I'll freak out.
And then that's it. That would be awesome.
2D or 3D?
I want a 2D.
Man.
So my favorite Metroid game is Fusion. And I've just been longing for a game like that.
Yeah, I love 2D Metroid. A lot of that, though, is because I have a difficult time playing first-person games. I get nauseous when I play them. So, ultimately, like, I would want to play this game. So I would hope. They tried the third person. Didn't work that well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I know there's a lot of fans of the Prime series. So... to me, it don't matter. I would take anything. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I would love to see it happen.
Now, I've heard a rumor. There's a YouTuber called Super Metal Dave, and he covers Nintendo quite a bit. And he was on a podcast on Spawn Waves podcast, and there he revealed that he has contacts in the industry, and I believe him. I've seen a bunch of his videos. He's pretty legit, in my opinion. He has heard rumors that there are actually 2 Metroid games in development.
Don't...
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
By 2 different companies.
I think you'll get it. It would not shock me if we got a 2D and a 3D.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, that's what they did with Prime and Fusion. Those both came out on the same day.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Prime came out for the GameCube and Fusion came out for the I almost said the 3DS, for the GBA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Huh. I didn't know
I could see that. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah. And I think Retro is one of... I think it's the 3D game, probably.
Well, I mean, they've been in the dark for so long. They gotta reveal what they're working on.
And if it's not Metroid, it's a new IP. That's my take on it.
Nope, they're adding Cranky Kong.
I don't know if Nintendo's ready to let Retro just go nuts yet. I think they got one more in the chamber of, like, another... They do such a good job revitalizing Nintendo franchises.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
It'd be a shame to see them just... I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to see the team do stuff, but, like, just to think that, like, to go off and do their own when they could grab a franchise that needs love and kind of revitalize it, like, I'm all for that.
Sure.
So, this one me and Carson were talking about the other day, and at first I thought it was no way in hell, but the more we talked about it, the more plausible it kind of seemed, but Final Fantasy VII and Kingdom Hearts 3.
Man, we were talking about this in the Nintendo Guru group the one day.
Okay.
And we were saying, like, if Final Fantasy VII comes, boy, it's going to blow the roof off things.
Dude, I'm not going to play it on my PS4.
Oh, if it comes to Switch, I'm buying it on Switch all day long. And here's my thing. I think the thing is that because it's broken down into 3 games, I think it could handle it. I just really feel like it. I feel like if it was one gigantic game on one disc, there's no way the Switch could handle it. But the fact that they're breaking it down in segments, which when people were kind of upset about that, like, it kind of makes sense to some degree. Like, when you played that game, you played 3 discs. You know what I mean? Like, Ultimately, I would like it to be all together, and you buy it one time, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if I had to pay $60 for each version, I wouldn't want to do it. But if they were like, hey, 25 for this, 25, I would be for it. I'd be okay with it. But that aside, the fact that it's being broken down into 3 chapters, I really think that this suits what Nintendo is looking to do and what it can handle. Granted, the graphics may not be as pristine as like a PlayStation 4, but still, it could really do some amazing things. Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this also announced for Xbox?
So it's a timed exclusive for the PS4.
Okay, and that's fine.
In that trailer, they were like, coming first for PS4.
Yeah. If it just comes to Nintendo, I'm buying it on Nintendo. I will not buy it on the PS4. Because I would like to have it on the go.
Yeah, I'm such a big fan of this particular game. I'm probably not gonna want to wait, but I will probably pick it up on both.
Listen, we're all we're all adults. Myself, not so much as you guys, but the thing is like we have responsibilities, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit difficult to sit in front of the TV for 60, 70, 80 hours at a clip. Yeah. But the fact that I could take that thing on the go and play at work on my lunch break or whatever, or if I'm upstairs and I'm trying to catch up on TV, if I'm just like binge watching or whatever, I could play and then, whatever. That makes it much more... I've said this from the beginning. If Nintendo can just get to the point where games are kind of parallel, where they're not gimped versions of what's coming out, I will buy the version on the Switch just for the fact that I could take it on the go.
Yeah.
That's the main thing for me. So if I could take a big RPG like this, even Kingdom Hearts 3, if I could take those games on the go, I'm in. I'm sign me up, man. I want it.
Now, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is the unlikely one of the two.
Yeah.
Only because now it is running on Unreal 4. They're not using their engine.
Right. Both of them are Unreal 4 games.
Yeah. But the fact that
Kingdom
Cloud
Hearts
is in Smash,
big game.
Yeah.
And I don't see the Switch being able to handle it, but in the case for Final Fantasy, Square just seemed... I mean, they used to seem very closed off. They were only Sony. That was it.
Yeah.
They had some GBA games or stuff like Final Fantasy, Crystal Chronicles and whatnot. But, Cloud is on Switch. Cloud is in Smash now.
Right.
He's going to have an amiibo, too.
Yep.
A lot of the differences and a lot of the issues between Square and Nintendo came from Nintendo's side. They were so scorned and so upset that Square left them to go to Sony that they basically told them, F off, you're out of here. Because they really thought, Sony was nothing. You know what I mean? Think at that time, they're the biggest gaming company in the world. They wouldn't fear anybody. So they thought that Square was shooting themselves in the foot, and they were like, go ahead, knock yourselves out, get out of here. So I think that was where a lot of that was. I think with the merging of Cloud coming to Smash, you're starting to see some fences mended, and you're going to start seeing some stuff starting to work.
We got that Octopath Traveler, too.
Yeah, yep.
That game looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude, I Am Setsuna is amazing. That is a great game, man. Seriously. So, and that's a Square game. So I would love to see more of that stuff coming.
So, and then possibly an Ubisoft Framework Engine game.
So what that means is Child of Light was one of those games in Valiant Hearts, and we haven't
Rayman.
And Rayman 2. That's right.
Yeah.
So there's another Rayman game coming. Is that true? So that's their next one, right?
Yeah.
So
that's I think it's the 2 games and 1 cartridge.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the I'm assuming it's the Wii U version, might be the PS4 version of Rayman Legends. It's coming to Switch.
I just love that style. It's that smaller section of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And you get these nice kind of smaller style games. I love Child of Light. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Dude, what if the Rabbids in Mario RPG is
that style?
done in the framework?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Like a hand-drawn Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Please.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
I'd be down with that.
So, Skyward Sword Remaster. Now, Carson wrote this one down.
Yeah, I wrote this down just because I think it seems really strange putting Skyward Sword out as a remaster right now, because it's literally the opposite of Breath of the Wild. in terms of like how you play that game.
Yeah.
But they've been giving the remastered treatment to, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And I kind of just see, like, I think they're probably going to update Skyward Sword. Like, that's the one of the only 3D games that hasn't had any treatment. Now, it came out in 2011, so I think it's possible that we might get, like, a quick little announcement saying remaster coming for, like, 2018. And I think they're going to give you an option to play with a regular controller for that game.
Oh, God, I would love that.
So I think they'll still keep the motion controls because you can still use your Joy-Cons. But I think they will remap the controls so they'll allow for a Pro Controller to be used.
That would be nice. I'd be all for that.
Yeah. I'm totally for that.
I really don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But I think if they did it, man, I'd be so excited. Because I liked that game up until the point where I had to use motion controls, and it was just driving me up the wall. But that game was so storyline-wise, all that stuff, like, it was really good.
Yeah, I think it could definitely benefit from being in HD, too, because I remember playing it on my Wii in 2000, like, the end of 2011, and the game was pretty blurry looking, like...
Yeah.
Which doesn't bother me. I don't want to say, like, I won't enjoy the game because of, like, the resolution. The gameplay was...
I played it on the Wii U.
Okay.
I put it on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, that's right. It was available for a little while, yeah.
And it really wasn't that bad, honestly. I'm assuming it got up-resed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't really know for sure. But it didn't feel that bad when I played it, so...
Okay.
So, Pikmin 4, a game that Miyamoto says is apparently finished already, I think?
That totally was going to be a Wii U game, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, that would be awesome. It really would be, because I'm really, really a big fan of Pikmin. I wasn't when the franchise first started. Pikmin 2 kind of got me going, and then Pikmin 3, I just fell in love with it, and I love it.
Yeah, it's a really cool franchise. They seem to be giving it a little more love lately. We've got Hey Pikmin coming out too.
And I think that's to introduce a lot of new players to the franchise. Like, hey, this is Pikmin. For anyone that hasn't really played it before,
Pikmin for babies.
Yeah, they get the name out there, and for the 3DS also, which has a bunch more like people that bought the hardware.
Yeah.
Get the name out there, then have a full mainline Pikmin game come later for the Switch.
Yeah.
I say it comes out in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, if they've got it finished already.
They could put it out this year, too. I don't want to put that out,
I think they want to be careful. I don't think they want to stack the holiday too much, because everyone's going to buy Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to buy Mario Odyssey, so I don't think they want to cannibalize their own game.
No.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see it. And our virtual console, finally.
Yeah.
So
I think that what we're going to see with this, though, is I think we might get a mini direct just before E3, before the conference. They've been notorious for doing this the past few years, where like a couple days before we get this weird Nintendo Direct, and it's like, why are they doing this now? Like, they're showing all this stuff. Like, why? I think this is something that's more well suited for that than during the main, like, the Spotlight thing. Because the Spotlight thing, they do this weird thing where they focus more on the development teams. They interview people during it. They do all this other stuff. I think this is something that's going to kind of like, let's get it out of the way so we can focus more on the games per se. But I definitely think the week of E3, we definitely hear about this. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly.
That makes total sense to me, for them to give the virtual console its own like direct.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot to go over.
Yes.
And I think GameCube games are on their way.
Well, they need to make sure that this virtual console launch is strong.
Yeah.
I don't think they can pull what they pulled with the other virtual consoles, where it was like, oh cool, you're launching with like 6 games and you'll get the rest of them whenever we decide to put them up.
Yep.
Like, I think they need to come out of the gate with a bunch of games for this thing.
Yeah.
I really think it needs to be strong, because their online presence right now on the Switch store, like, it's not great. Like, that store is incredibly empty, and it's like, come on, I want to spend my money, Nintendo. Like, give the people what they want.
I just want Mother 3. That's all. Just give me Mother 3. Just tell me that you're doing the Virtual Console and Mother 3 will be there day one, and you will have me loving you, Nintendo, more than I already do. I will buy another Switch. Do whatever, man.
You have a special Switch just for Mother 3. That's
yes, give me a special edition Mother 3, like red with the God.
Oh, don't get too excited over there, Bobby.
I know, you're killing me, man.
So, this is mine. It's not on the list.
Okay.
Pokemon Stars.
Oh boy.
That should be under the Pipe Dream one, not really the games that are possible.
Right. Fine, then this will be the first one in our Pipe Dream one.
Well, real quick, do they usually show Pokemon at E3?
They don't usually reveal it.
Okay.
But they've shown it before.
Okay.
Yes.
And Stars isn't a new region. It's the second set. It would be the second set to Sun and Moon.
Right.
So that's why I think it could be there. All right.
Yeah.
On the Switch, Marlon.
On the Switch. So.
No, I think you're dead on. I think that if Nintendo is serious about the Switch, which we know they are, if they're serious about moving units, you announce a Pokemon game coming to it, and it will explode.
And just I really the Switch. It can't come to the 3DS too.
Yeah, it's got to go strictly Switch. If it goes to the other ones, it's done. Switch isn't. It's not gonna move the needle at all.
Here's the thing that always gets me though. I was saying that exact same thing for the Wii U. I was like, if they want the Wii U to sell, they need to come out with a good Pokemon game for it. And we got Pokken Tournament. But that wasn't the same.
But
is what I
here's the thing: is GameCube or not GameCube? Game Freak is very, very dedicated to Pokemon being a portable franchise.
Yes,
and that's Wii U couldn't be that, but the Switch is that and 10 times more.
Wait, Marley, I could take my Wii U on the go. 7 feet.
7 feet on the go. But
I think I think you're right. I think it'll definitely be there in some capacity. That's my feeling. One more game that I feel is a possibility that'll be there is Animal Crossing.
Oh, yes, please.
I think we're going to see it. I think it's going to happen, especially with the mobile game coming soon. If anything shows what Nintendo is trying to do with their mobile games is try to have a game right there with it to try to push the franchise, vice versa. I just have a feeling it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it won't be 2017, but I think we're going to hear about it at some point during this thing. They're going to talk about it. I think in the next year or two, we're going to get it.
And just so I don't sound completely nuts.
Okay.
So, a couple weeks ago, or not a couple weeks ago, it was a while ago.
Okay.
Game Freak had a job listing for someone to make HD assets for them, and they were looking for someone specifically with experience for developing for things like iPads and Vitas.
Oh.
Then, this was, I think, 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
The Pokemon Center website had a Pokemon Stars-themed merch. Like, it was like a set of, like, folders, I think, and stationery. Yep. Then they had that listed.
Yep.
And then,
Did you just go back to Pokemon after I tried to push us out of there?
Yeah, no, because I need
right
the
back,
viewers
man.
to know that I'm not crazy.
This crazy Stars guy over here.
I'm just saying, all right?
We know you're crazy. That's all.
I've got the pins on the map, and I'm tracing them.
He's seeing stars.
Yeah, Okay.
So, sorry, I just needed to do that for a second.
So are there any other games you guys want to talk about that are possible? We want to go into like the pipe dream ones or the crazy ones, but are there any more possibilities?
I think Bayonetta 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, please.
No, that's not a pipe dream?
No, I really think that they're working on it. Okay. I think Platinum's working on it, and I think that we will probably see it come or get announced during E3.
I agree with you. I think Nintendo's dedicated to making that their grown-up franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great series. It really is, and I don't know. I think we're gonna wind up seeing it. I really do.
Yeah. So, Carson, what's your big old pipe dream?
Pipe dream number 1. F-Zero is brought back to life.
You got that? It's called Fast RMX, man. You don't need.
I bought Fast RMX and it's pretty great.
Yeah.
But I need some character. There's no character in that game.
I know. That's a problem.
I need Captain Falcon, and what I want them to do is embrace the ridiculous nature of his character. He has a whole nother nature in Smash Brothers now, like his Falcon Punch and all that.
Yeah.
They need to embrace all that, okay?
Yeah.
And not try and be too serious. I love the GX one for GameCube, but that was it was kind of really serious, the story and stuff. I want them to go crazy.
Go ham.
Go ham. Just make it totally over the top.
I guess pipe dream number 2. I keep saying I want a Kirby RPG, but I'm here with the Kirby hater, so I'll go over my other one. Bobby's got no respect for the best pink puffball, but I want...
That's Jigglypuff?
Jigglypuff?
Anyway, I want Punch-Out brought back in some kind of way.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
I think...
That's ARMS, man.
No.
Right?
No, because... So here's what I think you do.
Okay.
I think Smash totally revitalized interest in Little Mac as a character.
I agree. Yeah.
People really, really like him. You know, his reveal trailer, his all his interactions with Samus, people really, really latch to him. I think you bring it back in a beat 'em up River City Ransom style kind of way. Where you're fighting through a level and then you get a boss fight in the boxing ring at the end of that level.
Yeah.
I think that would be a perfect way to bring it back.
What if I am suspicious that they may just drop him into ARMS somehow, dude.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That would
honestly.
be cool. I wouldn't hate it.
I don't know how they. It'd be funny, his stretchy arms. But I don't know.
I would love, honestly, to piggyback off of that. I've always said this for a while now, and especially since Mike Tyson's kind of going a full circle, from where he was. I would love Nintendo to rekindle and do a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out too.
Oh.
To me, that would be amazing. It really would be. I think that you need, in order for Punch-Out to truly work, in my mind, you need a boxer of huge caliber to make it work. I feel like the other games that came after the original Punch-Out were good, really good, but the problem was it didn't have that oomph behind it, where Tyson brought that mystique to the original. If you did something like that would, because boxing's pretty much dead, so you don't really have anybody that's that big caliber boxer anymore, especially in the heavyweight division. So to me, it would be hey, let's do this.
You revive Punch-Out and make Little Mac an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
So what's
or make Rocky Balboa. Make Rocky Balboa be
there you go.
the end boss in Punch-Out. But I don't know. It's just something. I feel like they got to do something with that one.
But what's your big pipe dream?
I think Kid Icarus. I would love them to bring that series back. I didn't like Uprise.
Oh, you're the first person I've heard that said that.
It's Space Harrier 2.0 to me. It really is just a Space Harrier type game, and I didn't like that aspect of it. I was such a fan of the original that, I'm not saying it has to be like the original, but something that's more of an adventure game than a shooter game is what I would look for. I didn't like the fact of the combination of weapons, and you build these weapons, and you're upgrading weapons, and you're grinding, you're going back to levels to try to find other drops and stuff to build your weapons up. I didn't like that aspect of it. Yeah. So for me, I would just want it to be something of the original in terms of an adventure, that type of thing. That would be awesome.
Well,
for me.
Sakurai, I think it has been confirmed that he is working on another game. And he was the last one to touch Kid Icarus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't want him to touch it again. Go someplace else, man.
He's busy making Kirby Air Ride 2.
He can.
Is that one of yours?
Dude, if Kirby Air Ride 2 came out, I would freak out.
My God,
that game is so good.
Listen, what is wrong with you, man?
Have you played Kirby Air Ride? It's so much fun.
I can't stand Kirby, man. I only played Kirby's Epic Yarn and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. And Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, I had such high expectations for because of the clay and all that stuff. And the fact that I had to stare at the gamepad the whole time to play that game just killed me.
Okay,
man.
well, that's the Wii U's fault. That's not Kirby's fault.
Yes, it is.
All right, dude. I'm telling you, hop on the Wii U Virtual Console and play Nightmare in Dreamland. It will totally change your mind. It is so good.
I'll take your word for
Ah,
it.
you're killing me.
All right, guys, I got two more. I'll just throw one's really quick. It's never gonna happen, but I think Prince of Persia is gonna be revived, and it's gonna be exclusive on the Switch.
Oh my God! You really went. You went for it there, Carson.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that there. We can just leave that go. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. One that I almost wanted to put this in possibilities, but I don't think it's gonna happen. A remaster of Super Smash Bros. Melee. And I only say this because Melee has a super huge competitive scene, and that game is still alive. The only reason I put it in my pipe dream is because I think it's totally fine the way it is right now. Like, the competitive scene loves it the way it is. Yeah. And I think they might be scared that they might change some of the wonkiness that they exploit in the competitive scene. So that's the only reason why I think it probably won't happen. But if they remaster that game, that'd be cool. Or maybe, you know what, GameCube Virtual Console, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think you got a better chance of that just showing up in the GameCube Virtual Console. I don't think anybody wants that game to be touched. Yeah. Like you said, like the competitive scene doesn't want that game touched. But the fact of, like, you can take that game and put it in a Virtual Console and leave it as it is, they would eat that up, man. Yep. I think.
Yeah, I what would be nice is whenever they do like competitive stuff, it's standard def. Yeah. It would be nice to get that on a nice widescreen. Yeah. Like TV, at that ratio.
Yeah.
But pipe dream. I don't think that's gonna happen. The remaster. But
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's where we'll wrap things up. We had a lot of stuff to digest. We've only got a couple more weeks left. Yep. Bobby, tell the people where they can find you.
Instagram, Twitter at Nintendo Gurus. You can check out my YouTube channel, Nintendo Guru. 2 podcasts, If We Ran Nintendo and the Geekcast, both on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all that good stuff. That is all.
You can find me here at the Geek XP. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at rebellious_Ewok. Follow me telling Bobby to play Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland because it's a really good game. Carson?
All right, you guys can find me at Carson_save on Twitter. Feel free to just tweet me questions about video games, guys. I'll try and answer them. I love talking about that stuff. And, of course, you can find me on the Geek XP. I can't wait for E3.
Woo! All right, till next time, everybody. Stay geeky.